So, in Dragon Ball Super, both Goku and Vegeta display the power of God Ki. Throughout the series, they both continuously break through their limits, going from Super Saiyan God to Super Saiyan Blue, and eventually even greater heights. Throughout all this, they manage to rival powerful foes and defeat them all one by one. God Ki has an instrumental part to play in all this. So today, I'll be going through a scenario where Goku gets God Ki early. And some of you out there might think this sounds a bit familiar. Well, that's true, but I'll be adding my own twist into it. Personally, I don't think Goku can get God Ki from training on Kami's lookout. This is because Kami wasn't born as a deity, so he may not possess God Ki at all. Instead, we'll be going deeper into the Saiyan saga. Goku has just finished running on the Snake Way and has just found King Kai's planet. Now, let's get into it. So as Goku trains with King Kai, he makes considerable progress in terms of his power. King Kai notices this and thinks that Goku is just a prodigy. Goku himself notices this as well and merely attributes it to the 10 times gravity training. However, in reality, Goku is actually learning how to control God Ki during his training with King Kai. And a few months in, he realizes that he can actually sense King Kai's energy. That was weird. King Kai also had no explanation for this phenomenon. So anyways, they move on. Goku actually arrives in time for the fight. He is revived at Kami's lookout as he snacks a few senzu beans and goes to the fight. As Goku arrives at the wasteland, Yamcha is fighting the Cyberman. And we all know that Yamcha is bound to die here because he underestimates the Cyberman and keeps his guard down. However, just before that one Cyberman can leap onto Yamcha's back, Goku appears out of nowhere, kicking the Cyberman into the distance and destroys it. Goku just inevitably saved Yamcha from that one single most disgraceful moment in all of Dragon Ball Z. Anyways, the fight begins. Goku faces off against Vegeta, while the rest of them all faced off against Nappa. So, before we get into the fight, let's talk about some power levels. So, only Goku's power level is changed here. So, in the original canon of events, Goku has a better power of 8,000. However, in this what if, Goku has a better power of 18,000. That is a significant difference and is in fact equal to Vegeta in terms of power. As Goku fights Vegeta, Vegeta realizes that he is no match for Goku, and Vegeta is pissed off. He points at Goku before realizing that all he has to do is unleash his ultimate technique, the Gallic Gun. Vegeta flies up all the way into the air and charges his Gallic Gun straight towards the Earth. Goku is worried. If the Gallic Gun hits Earth, Earth will be annihilated along with all the people on it. So he charges his Kamehameha and launches it straight towards the Gallic Gun. Both beams clash with powerful force, shaking the entire Earth. This beam clash lasted for a while, and Goku knew he could not underestimate Vegeta. So he powers up the Kaioken times 3 and launches his Kamehameha towards Vegeta. The Kamehameha completely overwhelms Vegeta's Gallic Gun, sending Vegeta flying straight into the air before the Kamehameha explodes. Goku was worried that the Kamehameha would have accidentally killed Vegeta. However, Vegeta falls back onto the earth, injured and battered, almost fainted. Okay, good. Goku realizes that Vegeta isn't dead. Meanwhile, the fight against Nappa continues. Tien, Yamcha, and Piccolo face off against Nappa's main punchers, while Gohan and Krillin serve as support. Krillin would sometimes pop in and out to do a solar flare, while Gohan would shoot some Masenkos at Nappa to serve as distractions. This proved really useful, as Tien, Yamcha, and Piccolo are able to get in some good hits on Nappa, especially Piccolo, because Piccolo is actually relatively close to Nappa in terms of power. However, the brief distraction given by Goku when Goku sends Vegeta flying into the air was able to distract Nappa, allowing the Z fighters to overwhelm Nappa and defeat him once and for all. Now, both Nappa and Vegeta are defeated. However, before the Z fighters can finish Vegeta off and Nappa off, Goku stops them, as usual. All the Z fighters are shocked. Why would Goku want to spare two monsters? These guys wanted to annihilate the entire Earth. However, Goku has his own reasons. Vegeta decides that he would tell Goku about Frieza, how Frieza annihilated the entire Saiyan race because of his own arrogance and fear. So, Goku decides that he would train to defeat this Frieza guy. First, he contacts Bulma and tells her to help them build a gravity chamber that can go up to 1,000 times gravity. Meanwhile, he decides that he will pass on a senzu bean to both Nappa and Vegeta. Nappa and Vegeta are both shocked. They didn't realize that Goku would be so naive and willing to help them. But whatever, they accepted his kindness and moved on. In the gravity chamber, Goku decided that he would start training with Vegeta. This is because these two are relatively close in terms of power, and if the others train with them, they would not be able to keep up with the gravity that they would put themselves underneath. Meanwhile, Piccolo, Yamcha, Krillin, Gohan, Tien, and Nappa all train in the other gravity chamber. Kinda overcrowded here, but this is because all of them are relatively close in terms of power as well. And also, Nappa is actually pretty willing to train with this group. It's because during this fight he realizes that all of them are capable fighters, and they have all gained his respect. Meanwhile, Frieza realizes that there are such things known as Dragon Balls. He was able to hear the conversation of Vegeta to the Z fighters through his scouter. These Dragon Balls were interesting, and Frieza wanted to achieve a certain wish with them: immortality. In this version of event, Frieza never knows about planet Namek, and only knows that planet Earth has these Dragon Balls. So he decides that he would pay Earth a visit and get those Dragon Balls. Anyways, how the Z fighters fend off Frieza? Well, you have to find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.